Today we're going to have a look at a new gun from SRC, and for SRC it is quite a departure because it's a gas blowback rifle. It is the ak74su, and you can tell by my grunting that A, I'm getting too old, and B, this thing has some serious weight to it. Developed in Taiwan, now been released officially, and we have them in stock. It is about as close to an AK as you're going to get without actually going to some odd parts of the world and purchasing one, right down to the point that, if I remember correctly, it actually shakes and rattles a bit, and that's before you start firing it. Excuse the phone, we are in a real shop doing real stuff, so unfortunately it's unavoidable. It's made entirely of metal except for the wooden foregrip and the correct, for a change, plastic pistol grip. Too many of these things have got fake wood grips on them, very rarely found on AKs. A lot of it's steel, selectors steel, top cover steel. Comes apart just like the real thing. You've got spring guide and the return spring. Bolt carrier unit with the piston. Inside there, you may well struggle to see this, you've got a fairly standard AK sliding hop unit. The hammer group, again, fairly closely replicates that of the real AK, slight differences to accommodate the different methods of operation. And I note, unfortunately, no baler twine being used to create the springs, but you can't have everything. It's absolutely fine. The bolt group is obviously a gas blowback one, so it's not identical to the original. If it were, we'd be in trouble for selling these, so I'm not going to complain about that one either. It is about as simple as anything can possibly get. They really are basic, and it is, if you've never actually seen inside an AK, it's a little bit of a salutary lesson just how simple one of these things is and just how simple it needs to be. Close that and generally hit it. As I said, full metal, no excitement on that at all. It does come with a scope rail on the side, so any AK compatible scope can be mounted onto it. You do need to get the actual rail either with a Riz top or with a scope already fitted. Would look good with something like a Cobra sight on it, but me, AK's sights, no, just never feels right. Side folding stock, again pressed steel just like the original, sits down the side of the gun, and unlike too many guns with folding stocks, as long as you're right-handed, it's there's no obstruction to either the trigger or the fire selector on it, so you can quite practically use the thing with the stock folded. It's about as loose as the real thing again. There's a real sense of Taiwanese quality, 1940s to 1970s Russian design. Works well. Velocity, as ever, it's going to depend upon where you are and what time of year it is, because the colder it is, the worse it's going to work. Magazine replicates the 74 brick. Fortunately it's in black rather than brick red, because a lot of people seem to find that offensive. Holds 65 rounds. You'll need a speed loader to load it, and just in case anyone is being particularly keen-eyed, yes, the follower is missing from this one. One of our customers managed to lose it. How they did it, I don't know. Fortunately, it means that the gun will cycle empty, because otherwise it won't. If you try and drop the bolt forward on an unloaded magazine, it will stop, and that may be what happened here. I wonder if somebody forced the issue on another gun. The fill valve is at the bottom, and it soaks up a fair amount of green gas. Obviously not much room for BBs, lots of room for gas. Nice weight to them, and we will hopefully have more of these available shortly. The gun's new, so at the moment our initial shipment is just gun and magazines. All of you know AKs, you're very familiar with them. Magazine hooks in the front, swings back, locks into place. Safety down, bolt back and release, no point pushing it forward, it'll go there itself, and on semi-auto this will hopefully work. It's been cold, hence the gas clouds, but it does cycle rather nicely. What is very nice about this, and I have to say I personally like this a lot, is that on fully automatic, rate of fire is relatively low, so it's actually quite true to the original. Velocity, as I said, variable. It's going to depend on a bunch of factors over which neither we nor the manufacturer's SRC have any control on, but with green gas reasonably expect to be seeing at least 300 feet per second out of them in fairly temperate conditions. That's it. It's an AK. It's short, It works, it's noisy, you will definitely get a lot of head stunning when you first turn up with this thing, and certainly the first time you use it in a skirmish, because as you'll have heard there, because of its construction, it rings. It blats and it rings. It's a cracking bit of kit, lovely to look at, it feels good, beloved not just of the Russian Spetsnaz, but pretty much most of the world's PMCs, private security companies as well, because it has all the advantages of the old AKs. It's reliable, but it's compact and it fires now a fairly modern round. For us, not a consideration, it fires 6mm balls. Enjoy.